Good morning. As promised, here is the answer key to the general ledger. You're going to need to go through the video to get these answers because I do want to explain how we got there, and I think that's part of the learning process. It's going to take a little bit of your time, but it won't be too bad. Just go ahead and hammer through this. Might be best to either open a second computer or maybe your phone and play the video and pause it when you get to a spot like we are right here. You can see there's the answer key to the general ledger for Cash and Bank. It's sitting right there in front of us. But I am going to go through each individual account and why I got those numbers. I don't want the video to get really long because it doesn't render and go to YouTube very well. So if I need to go to a second video, and I'll end up going to a second video, you'll need to make sure you watch that second one as well. But let's just see how far we get here with the Cash and Bank account. It's obviously the largest account, and then maybe we can move on from there and take a look at some of the additional accounts in this video. So the first thing we do on the general ledger account is we list the tab as Cash and Bank, we list the account as Cash and Bank, and then we list the account number 101. Those are the first and most important things you need to do. You're going to notice that I've put this general ledger in account number order. So it's actually in chronological order. It's not in order that they show up on the general journal. So I just did that so that way you would be able to bounce around a little bit quicker and you know exactly what account I'm on. So here is Cash and Bank 101. And I'm going to just pull through and take a look at these. So the first one here is Cash and Bank on the first for $25,000. That's where Jennifer invested into her company. So we write the date in column A12. The post ref comes from the first page on the general journal. This is a $25,000 debit. That's the normal balance side. So we just keep the balance at $25,000. Do you remember this? Okay, so let's move on to number 2. We have another Cash and Bank account affected on the 2nd of December. And this time it looks like we're writing a check, 101. I don't remember anything other than it was for office equipment. Those are back in our source documents if we really want to figure that out. So we can kind of work our way backwards if we ever get into a pickle. So here I look at December 2nd, all right, coming from page G1, it's a credit of $525. So I take my current balance, which was $25,000, and I subtract the $525, and now I have a new balance at the end of December 2nd. It's $24,475. Now, if we go back to the journal, you'll see we have another transaction that occurred on the 2nd, and that was we purchased some office supplies with cash, and we wrote a check, 102. We bought $73 worth of office supplies. That's a lot of G2 pens. My favorite. So here we go. December 2nd comes from page 1 of the general journal, credited for $73. We take our previous balance, which was $24,475, and we subtract the $73 for a new balance of $24,402. So at the end of December 2nd, we had $24,402 in our cash account. On the 5th, we purchased some instructional equipment. A pretty hefty check, if you ask me. We purchased $13,924 worth of instructional equipment by writing check number 103. So here I go to December the 5th. Okay, again, still coming from page 1 of the general journal. I wrote a check for $13,924. If I subtract that from my previous balance of $24,402, my new balance now is $10,478 at the end of the day, December 5th, before we get to the second transaction on the 5th. So the second transaction on the 5th was we received some money. Now let's remember this word fees also means revenue. Okay? So you got to remember this. We'll get to that in a minute. But here we have Cash and Bank. We collected $95 and we gave them a receipt to prove to them that they had made that payment. So the second transaction on the 5th, coming from General Journal page 1, oh, my bad, I wrote 950. I'm going to have made some mistakes here for sure. Or was that the correct amount? Did I make a mistake? Let me pause this here for a moment. Indeed, I did make a mistake, and you probably all caught that as well. This should be $950 in my general journal. I was right in my general ledger. So I'm just going to update that for you. Here's the thing, you're also going to see the general journal at this point in time too. And I'm okay with that. Hopefully at this point in time, most of you have at least attempted this, but you're getting a lot of it handed to you here that if you haven't done it at this point in time, by going through a couple of YouTube videos, you're going to get the answers. Hopefully you learn in the process as well. Okay, so we're still good. We have a $950 in our debit for collecting those private lesson fees. So that's going to increase our cash. So we had $10,478, and then we put this check in the bank because it's on the debit side. It's going to increase it. Our new balance now is $11,428. Now we're going to move all the way down to the 9th. That's our next transaction that involves cash. So it looks like we paid rent of $850 by writing check 104. So on the 9th, I take a look and I write the 9th. I'm still on page 1 of the general journal. The check was for $850. And at my previous balance of $11,428, I subtract the $850 and my new cash is now $10,578. Okay, now I made a couple mistakes on this, and I'm not going to get too worked up on this. I'm not going to go back and fix it while I'm going through this, but I made spaces between my general journal so that it would be easier for you to read here. So my post-reference column might be a little off. You're going to see here, we're going to the 11th. This is our next cash and bank account. Well, this is actually my second page of the general journal. Okay, so on the 11th, we collected $695 for private lesson fees. And I wrote December the 11th as my date, but my general journal page number has changed. Now, I'm going to change this one just so you know what I'm talking about. This is actually general journal page 2 now. Debit for $695, or the collection of $695, added to the previous balance. I'm now at $11,273 in my bank account. My next cash account occurs on December the 13th. We can see this in the general journal. At $36, basically we charged Carla Desario for some kind of service. It's accounts receivable. We're waiting to get paid from her. So that is an asset account. So on the 13th, again, this would have been G2. The last one I'm going to fix for now. All right. $36 goes into our debit account. We're waiting for that money, but we're owed it. So we're going to increase the amount of money. To $11,309. Just a quick little side note. As she pays this money, we're going to deduct the accounts receivable account down to 0. So we'll make those corrections after a bit when she pays us off, right? Actually, I'm take that back. I made a mistake. She has paid us off. She is paying us back for $36. And we put it into our cash account. So our cash is increased. Sorry if I confused you. Okay, on the 14th, we have accounts payable to educational software. This is where we owe them $200. We wrote a check, 105, comes out of cash and bank. So here I am on page 2 on the 14th. We wrote a check for $200. It decreases our total balance. We're now at $11,109. Moving to the 15th. We had some maintenance that we had to take care of. Maybe we painted the interior. I don't remember exactly what it was. Again, you could go back to the source document. We wrote a check 106 for $750. Again, this is on the 15th. So here we are on the 15th. Coming out of page 2 of the general journal, I wrote a check for $750. Our new balance now would be $11,109 minus the $750, giving us $10,359. On the 18th, Jennifer withdrew some money. She took out $500 for personal use. That's check 107. So on the 18th, again, page 2 of the journal, she took out $500 for personal use, giving her new balance of $9,859. Now on the 20th, we have some utilities we have to cover. So the utilities we're going to pay for, electricity, gas, water, whatever it might be, account 525, our utilities were $183. So on the 20th, page 2, we have a credit of $183 by writing check 108 for a new balance now of $9,676. On the 24th, she had miscellaneous expense as well. Again, G2, I don't remember again what this source document indicated her expenses were. Oh, I do. She was buying some stamps, if I'm not mistaken. Credit for $45. She's writing a check. New balance, $9,631. Last one. I made a mistake. I didn't include the last source document. Not a huge deal. We can move forward. If you catch this, though, you want to update this. We have a miscellaneous expense of $15. We're paying that to the bank for bank reconciliation. It's a bank fee, okay? Cash, we're writing a check 110. It's $15. So on the 31st, page 2, we wrote a $15 check. Our new balance is $9,616. We are done with the month. This is our balance at the end of the month. This is the number we're going to move to the trial balance on Monday, okay? So we'll talk more about that when we get to that point in time, but I want you to go through each of these accounts. I'm actually going to stop this one right here because this is the largest account, and it's going to take probably a little bit of time to render it. I will go through the rest of the accounts here on my next video, or half of them and then another half. So get these numbers right. They're all sitting right here in front of you, and I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, let me know. You're going to need this completed, the general ledger, by Monday, okay?